Hey everyone, today I want to talk about the Pines family life timeline. And I just wanted to go into detail. This could have happened. It's all theories and speculation, but it is very smart, and it's not my theory, it's Joe 4. So 1931 to 1932, great-grandmother Pines, living on the American East Coast, gives birth to two sons on the same day, naming them Stanford and Stanley. 1930s to 40s, Stanford is a constant target for bullies. 1940, great-grandfather Pines signs Stanford up for boxing lessons. 1950, Stanford and Stanley go to college. 1954, Stanford and Stanley graduate from college. Stanley moves to 618 Gopher Road, Gravity Falls, Oregon. In the same year, he gets married and has a son, Mr. Pines. 1950s to 1960s, Stanford goes to see Grandpa the Kid in theaters. He sees a thief trying to steal Carla McCorkle's purse. He stops the thief with a well-timed left hook, jump-starting his relationship with Carla. Somewhere in the 1950s to 1970s, Stanley and his wife raise Mr. Pines. During this time, Stanley befriends a then-sane Fiddleford H. McCuckett, and together they discover the secrets of Gravity Falls. They also start a series of journals to keep track of all the secrets. Somewhere in this period, they discover that they can build a portal and start collecting parts for it all around the world. Meanwhile, Stanford continues his relationship with Carla McCorkle. In the early 1970s, Stanford and Carla begin hanging out at the Juke Joint. In 1972, Stanford Pines loses Carla McCorkle to Thistledown. In the same year, Mr. Pines goes to college. The two brothers reunite at what is now the Mystery Shack. Stanley and McCuckett explain the secrets of Gravity Falls to Stanford, and he joins in on their quest. In one heist, the team acquires a grappling hook which now belongs to Mabel. In 1976, Mr. Pines graduates from college and moves to Piedmont, California. 1970s to 80s, Stanford, Stanley, and McCuckett continue their quest to build the portal. In one instance in Colombia, something goes wrong. Knowing that he was the weak link out of the three, Stanford allows himself to get caught so the partners could escape. He spends some time in a Colombian prison, creating a one-sided friendship with his inmates, Jorge and Rico. Eventually, Stan escapes, legally or illegally, we may never know, and heads back to Gravity Falls. Stanford, Stanley, and McCuckett finally open the portal in the early 1980s. They meet Bill Cipher, and something makes them realize that opening the portal again may not be such a good idea. So they split up and each hide one journal where they think nobody will ever find it. Stanford gets journal 1 because he now has it. Stanley gets number 3 because it was hidden near the shack, and McCuckett gets number 2 by the process of elimination. July 4th, 1982, Bill Cipher, seeking revenge for his previous encounter with the gang, invades Old Man McCuckett's mind and messes it up somehow. The Stan twins, upon finding this out, summon Bill so that they can destroy him. Instead, he chops off one finger on McCuckett's six-fingered right hand and kidnaps Stanley. Stanford, however, escapes unscathed. He digs up his journal and vows to find the other two so he can free his brother and restore McCuckett to his former brilliance. Late 1982, Stanford realizes he has to make money somehow. He tries several different professions, including vacuum salesman and magician, but to no avail. January 1983, a dejected and nearly broke Stan is sitting at a bookstore when a book catches his eye. That year's edition of Succeeding in Management. Suddenly, a light bulb turns on inside his head. He buys the book, goes home, and starts the Mystery Shack. 1983. Later in 1983, Seuss answers an ad that says Stan is looking for a kid who don't ask a lot of questions and don't need a lot of money. He then becomes the Mystery Shack's first employee. 1983 to 2012, Stan hires several short-term employees, but ends up firing each of them. The latest one is Wendy. 1999 to 2000, Mr. and Mrs. Pines have twins. The first is a girl who they name Mabel. The second, a boy, comes out 5 minutes later and is named Dipper, after a birthmark on his forehead. 2012, Stan's great niece and nephew come to Gravity Falls for the summer. And so that's the timeline. Hopefully you guys enjoyed. Please like the video and comment below.